Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. I believe this is Talkin VAWLS Live, episode number 134. My name's Boogie Bentley.
I'm VAWLS JP.
I'm Dauber.
And I'm the Indy Kid.
It is a cold, it's not really snowing anymore, but there was some snow. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We had to go live. Just a little inside baseball. We've been talking about baseball. We've been talking about baseball. We've been talking about all kinds of nonsense. About 30 seconds before we went live, Dauber said, so what are we talking about exactly? That tells you just what kind of stream that this is going to be. Let's run down the live chat. Let's see who is here. Lucas Sharp is here. He's also been here bright and early. Said, I'm going to sit here until the stream starts. Rock a Lot is in the chat. Smiling Fish and Beans is here and says, howdy. Comic Book Bob dropped in just to say, have a good stream, guys. Probably disappeared shortly thereafter. Donovan's in the chat making predictions for the Super Bowl. Let's just start there. IC86 says the like button is smashed. Hello, everyone. Let's start there. Anybody do anything fun for the Super Bowl or COVID Super Bowl by yourself, just sitting there?
Yeah, I'm going up mom and dad's, grilling some burgers.
What time we need to be there?
5:30. 5:30.
All right.
We are frying, or well, not frying, but we're putting some hot wings in the air fryer too. So interested in trying those out.
How does an air fryer work out? Does it, like, let's say you chop up potatoes and put them in there. Do they taste like potatoes? Are they healthy, or is it just?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's no oil or anything like that, so they are fried by air. How it works, Biggie, I don't have a clue.
But do they come out like tasting crispy like a French fry?
Yes, yeah. I'm telling you what. We had some of the best, like, what's it called? Squash and zucchini, this past summer, putting it in the air fryer and kind of just putting it in there and getting it just a little bit crispy and fried up. I'm telling you, and put some, Italian dressing on it. I'm telling you, that was top notch. It was good. It was dang good.
Let me get this super chat from Obman256, an Auburn fan hanging in there. Wait a minute. Is that a EA Sports NCAA football? How about that, man? I could talk all night about that. But Obman, thank you for the super chat. Says, hello, gentlemen. Good to see you all. Well, it's good to see you, Obman. Thank you for the support. What about you, Dauber? Anything going on for Super Bowl Sunday?
Nothing special.
Does anybody even watch the NFL anymore?
I'll watch it, but I mean, my team stinks year in, year out. So.
Yeah, I haven't had a good team since 91. So,
what's up, Yule? I'm glad to see Yule in the chat. He never drops into my streams. I feel special. Thanks, Yule. Yeah, I don't care, man. I don't care. I think it's cool. I've said it for a long time. A lot of people, hate Tom Brady. And Indy Kid said the other day in our group text, he's the GOAT. Doesn't matter what anybody says. It's the truth, man. I've always admired him as a quarterback. For a long time, I said that Peyton Manning was better, but I think what he's done going to Tampa Bay just kind of locked it in. I don't really see that it's a debate anymore. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, I think so. He and Manning, I mean, great Hall of Famer. Congrats to him on that. Oh man, what's this? Brady's, is it 10th Super Bowl?
10th Super Bowl. Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing. I think he solidified it this year because a lot of the time people were saying, well, it was because of the system he was in. But the system did not start until Tom Brady became the quarterback in New England. They weren't just winning all the time. Patrick Mahomes is not the GOAT. Absolutely not. He may be when it's all said and done, but what's he been here? How many years has he been in the league now?
4 years, I think.
4 or 5 years.
17, yeah.
He's got a long way to go. We'll see
he's
how
got
long
the potential.
He does. Yeah,
now,
but he's got a long way to go, too.
I don't think Brady retires.
No. Brady's defenses have not carried him. I mean, look at what he's had all this time. Look at the receivers he's had. What do you have? Randy Moss? That's the only Pro Bowl receiver he had. He hadn't have
Welker.
Yeah, I mean, he helped make Welker. He made a lot of guys up there. No, Brady earned his Super Bowls. He earned them. He carried them. You guys can say what you want to on it. You're just mad because he's better than Peyton Manning. That's what it boils down to. And the thumbs downs are probably coming now. So.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Not too bad yet. Too bad. We got 78 people watching. This is a laid back stream.
I hope he loses tonight because I need his rookie cards to nosedive a little bit so I can buy some before he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame 5 years after he retires.
This is funny. Yule Carter shouldn't have lost the perfect season. Damn Eli. I had made a bunch of bets with Robert Craig, who he's in the chat here a lot. Yule, he's also in the chat of our Wrestling Council shows. And I had bet Robert, I don't even know what it started on. And we kept going double or nothing, double or nothing, double or nothing. I forget, it got up to like $120. And I was like, I'll tell you what, Robert, I'll take the Giants, you take the Patriots straight up. It's this way we can just get even. And then that game, the big catch and the Giants come back and win it. And it's, oh man, he owed me $240. And I finally just said, you know what? You can take me to Outback and pay for it, and we'll just call it a day. And he's never bet with me since then. So, oh, goodness gracious. We got about 100 people watching. We appreciate you guys hanging out. Like I said, it's laid back. This is not structured. There's not a whole lot of notes. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. We'll talk about it. We're just having fun. What's your go-to food for Super Bowl Sunday? I know Dauber's a chef. He's got some pizza dip that he makes. He does the shrimp boils. What's your go-to, Dauber, on Super Bowl Sunday?
Man, I don't know. It depends on who's playing and how interested in the game I am. It's hard to beat buffalo chicken dip, too. That's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Wings, of course, are good. I'll get takeout, though. I haven't had the smoker fired up in a while.
Man, speaking of an electric smoker, I know I'll probably get laughed at for using an electric smoker, but Lowe's had a heck of a deal on one yesterday, and I should have bought it. It was the floor model. It was regular $370 some, and they had it half price, $170, $180, something like that. Started to buy it, but I was like, I don't need a second one, but it may still be there if anybody's interested in an electric smoker.
You guys have me ready. I want an air fryer. That's what I got to pick up. Johnny Fielder says, all right, that's enough. That's enough of this laid back fun stuff. Who's running this show? This never happens on Talkin VAWLS. I want to talk about this VAWLS coaching staff. And then Corey Braswell comes right behind him and says, Matt House. So I guess we can talk about that. Steve Husky is laughing at JP for his electric smoker.
I'm just lazy, you know.
Let's talk about this defensive staff a little bit. It's something that's been kind of surprising, and a lot of people have said, well, why are you guys so upset about it? Just sit back and wait. Well, they're missing out on an opportunity to recruit right now. That's one thing. But we can break it down and go into this a little bit. You know, Heupel's had some conversations with Kevin Steele. We've touched on that a bit throughout some of the videos that have gone up. I don't think he's going in that direction. And whoever it was that said Matt House, that's a name that keeps coming up. He's the Chiefs linebacker coach, and it makes sense why it hadn't come out if it's Matt House. But the question for me, JP, is if it is Matt House, how are they going to roll out this full defensive coaching staff tomorrow if he's been game prepping for the Super Bowl today?
I don't understand why that they have to name everybody tomorrow in one at one time, but is there any defensive coaches that have been named? I mean, zero, right?
Just rumors, but nothing.
Reportedly, they're bringing a guy, Corey Bell, a defensive backs coach or something from Central Florida. Reportedly, but
Janczyk's a name that keeps coming up too. But the thing about Jancic is, I don't think he's being talked about as a defensive coordinator. I wonder if he's a guy that's going to come in as a position coach, because Jancyk's been an analyst, quality control, whatever. Give him a title at Georgia. So I don't know what's going on with John Jancic.
That's where Jancyk's at now, or he was.
Yeah,
I just looked it up because I didn't know either.
The title is actually defensive quality control coach.
Did they get rid of him because they brought Muschamp in?
Maybe
Georgia brought Muschamp in.
Yeah, I don't know if Jancic is out or if Jancic is just looking to move on. But Let's talk about Matt House a little bit. I don't know. You guys know a lot about him. I did some research, got some stuff here we can talk about. But the thing that concerns me, he coached at Kentucky. What was it? 2019 was his last season. I'm trying to skim through my notes here. The defense ranked 6th in the country in scoring defense. He spent a season at Florida International as a coordinator. His resume looks good, and I like that he has, he's got SEC experience, college experience. Another name that has come up, what is it? The Tennessee guy. Somebody help me. Casey Rogers.
Yeah.
Rogers' name keeps coming up. And when you look at his resume, it's like, dang, man, he's not coached in college in almost 20 years. Like, is that a guy that's going to come in and recruit and understand the way things have changed in college football when he's not been there? Whereas Matt House is a name that I'm kind of getting excited about. I just don't know. David Speaks says, House, can he recruit? He's been in the SEC. So, and as recent as, what did I say, 2019?
Why would he want to leave the Chiefs to come back to Tennessee, though? I know he's a linebackers coach now, but I would think being the Chiefs, and especially if they go back-to-back tonight, he's probably going to get some offers to move up in the NFL. Maybe he's ready to go back to college. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he was at Kentucky, right? House was.
Yeah.
Anybody know what kind of defensive statistics he had or anything when he was at Kentucky? Who was the head coach when he was at Kentucky?
Well, I just said it. His last season was 2019. Let me just read through. Let me just read through this. What I've got. It says that he anchored a Kentucky team that reached 3 straight bowl games for the first time since 2007 through 2009. They won the bowl game 27-24. His 2019 defense ranked 6th in the country. He spent 1 season as the defensive coordinator at Florida International, which his defense limited 4 opponents to less than 14 points and finished the season ranked 16th nationally in red zone defense. But this is when you start talking about, well, he was here in red zone defense, you're picking and choosing stats to make him look, to look good. Said he had 5 players who earned all conference honors and 4 would be signed to NFL contracts. He was the defensive coordinator at Pitt from 2012 to 2014. And he spent some time in the NFL as a quality control analyst as well. What do you got here, Dauber?
All right. I'm going to throw this out there. This is why House left Kentucky. Didn't like to put in the work. He didn't like recruiting.
I saw that earlier this week.
That's not what you want to hear. Yeah, that ain't what you want to hear.
Stoops said it came down to the commitment level it takes to succeed in the SEC. So, is that really the direction we're looking at going? Is that really what we want to do? And I know everybody's talking about Steele. Steele is a great coordinator, but if you look at what Heupel is wanting to do with this offense, if you look at the style of defense that Steele implements, it's a bend but don't break. It's a defense that is going to be on the field for a long time. And if you've got an offense that is going 100 miles an hour trying to get, 50 plays a game, that can sometimes turn into your defense being on the field more and quickly. You're looking for the offense to score quickly, so it doesn't complement. So if we keep Steele and the defense doesn't align with what the offense is wanting to do, you're right back in a situation where, it's the defense is on the field all the time and you're suffering at the end of a game.
And I wonder how much of the Kevin Steele stuff too is relationship. And I don't remember, it all blends together. I can't remember if I talked about it with Indy Kid or with JP, talking about if the relationship between Heupel and Steele isn't there, then you got to move on. And it goes back to the good old boy system where Phil Fulmer is trying to do a solid for his buddy Kevin Steele and get him in a position of power. And what do you got? Let me throw this on for everybody, because I think it was me and the Indy Kid that talked about it. What do you guys think of Phil Fulmer? Pruitt was out. Fulmer knew it, right? Fulmer knew it. Fulmer didn't think his name was going to get dragged through the mud. So Fulmer puts Kevin Steele in a position of power. Hey, come in. We'll sign this deal. $1 million. coach in waiting. You'll be the head coach as soon as we fire Pruitt. I'm the AD. I'll make it happen. Hey, T, by the way, I'll give you a 2-year extension. You're going to be my offensive coordinator. And now Phil Fulmer, Game of Thrones style, has his chess pieces in place to run, to keep control of everything going on in Knoxville. And then his name got dragged through the mud and everything backfired. And now you've got Tennessee, who could very well be paying Kevin Steele $1 million just to go away. You've got all the drama with T. Martin and former players calling for this and that and talking about racism and everything else. And, you know, T's going to the NFL. I don't know what came of that. I don't know what happened with the money. But it all seems like old Phil was burning this place to the ground for control. Crazy? Is that a crazy conspiracy theory? You think that's pretty accurate?
Pretty accurate.
You got your tinfoil hat on under that beanie?
I could go get one. But I think it's pretty accurate, man.
He was up to something on that, and I don't know where he was going. But, yeah, for that, I said the same thing. I don't know. I think it's pretty obvious Steele was probably going to be the guy, and he knew what was going on. Like you said, I just don't think he expected he was going to get shown the door either. But, no, it was I think you're on it. And best thing that happened was Phil Fulmer got run off, and he doesn't need to come back to Knoxville.
It's so
he was
crazy.
the one that started it, and he was the one that tried to bury it.
It's so crazy because there's a guy that I go to church with that played at UT. He was a walk-on, and he was an offensive lineman, and Phil Fulmer was his position coach when he was down there, and he absolutely hates Phil Fulmer. And he's always talked bad about Phil. And when they brought him in as the athletic director, I'm like, do you not think this is good? You know, let Phil. And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, he is going to bury that school to the ground. And I saw him at church. I don't remember if it was, I guess it was last Sunday. And I was like, I guess you're tickled to death, aren't you? He said, my house has had 2 big parties over the last few years. One was when they fired him as a coach, and the second was when they fired him as an athletic director. So needless to say, he is tickled to death. Guys, we got 183 people watching. We're glad that you're here. It is a laid-back stream. We're just having fun, talking a little ball, talking the Super Bowl, talking about Peyton Manning. Do us a favor, smash the thumbs up. We got 74. Let's get it to 100. We're right there, close. Just need a few more of you to go ahead and do that. JP, what do you think? What do you think's going on with the defensive coordinator deal? No idea.
Yeah, I don't have any idea. I mean, it's crazy to me. I mean, I guess, it sounds like that they have some pieces in place if they're coming out saying that they expect to have most of the staff named by tomorrow. So it sounds like that they're doing that. You know, Boogie, you and I talked about there, I think one day last week we done the video and we was talking about how toxic that the program is and what kind of reputation that they've got right now with everything. And I think that's probably Danny White's first step to try to turn the toxic environment around is trying to keep everything under lock and key and not have so much information out there, so much rumors going around, all of that stuff. I think that's his first step to try to get a handle on that and to kind of change the perception of the way that this athletic department has been ran and some of the decisions that they have been making. So I know that there's a lot of people that are frustrated that they haven't really, heard a lot of information or gotten any kind of details, but I'm not for sure that that's not a bad thing. And I think that is what Danny White is certainly wanting to do. And again, I think that's his step to say, as a athletic department, that we're not going to allow a bunch of negativity, a bunch of rumors, all of that stuff out there, because we've seen that it really doesn't do anything but just hurt the program.
How shocked? Let me hit this super chat, then I'll ask this question. John Robert Tolkertine, I saw him on Facebook today saying he is stoked that he gets to be here for a live show. We're glad you're here. For $2.99, thank you for the super chat. Says, not gonna miss the Great Pumpkin, to be honest. Man, it kind of hurts. It stings for me because I say it time and time again. I've always loved Phil, but I think Phil I don't know, man.
Here's
He
the
needs
thing.
to go. I mean, he just needs
Obviously.
to move on.
Obviously.
And hopefully with them, which I don't agree with them paying him, basically the next 2 years, they can say that he retired, but he was fired.
100%.
I
There's
mean,
no doubt about it.
Twice now.
I mean, how do you not fire the athletic director when you fire the head coach for what they're saying could be up to possible 50 violations? At that point in time, I don't think that you had a choice. But certainly, I think that Tennessee is certainly trying to, protect Fulmer there with all that. But very, very disappointing to see with some of the stuff certainly that Fulmer tried to pull there at the end for sure.
Well, I think that. Sorry, Dauber. I'm just going to say real quick. He was kind of out of the loop, and then they created that special position for him, and that enabled him to weasel his way back in. Right? There's a reason him and Steele gets along real well. They're both weasel.
So. That's the word, is weasel. That's hilarious.
Well, I was just going to say, I think most people, as a Tennessee fan, they do have a bit of appreciation for Fulmer being the coach that brought us a championship in '98. But here's the thing. If you look at how he became head coach and all the turmoil and kind of weaselly way that happened, kind of coming in and unseating Johnny Majors when he was out for medical issues and all that, there was a lot of division and tension around the program at that time. But then, like I said, he brought us through the 90s and early 2000s and some really good points in Tennessee football. But I think the key for him was the staff that he surrounded himself with. I don't know that Fulmer was necessarily the greatest coach, but he had a staff and he was able to recruit to Tennessee because it was Tennessee. And he had things going for him in his favor that the most recent staffs and coaches haven't had the luxury of having. However, when he was let go, I don't agree with how it was done, but it was time for him to go as coach because the game had passed him by. He had gotten lazy recruiting, and he was living off that big fat paycheck and flashing his national championship ring around, and that wasn't cutting it anymore. And honestly, to me, I do think as athletic director, he stepped in and was the right person at the right time to help the university get out of the situation that John Curry put us in and that whole mess. But I also think that the Pruitt hire was there wasn't as much due diligence put into that, and it was sort of a crapshoot and a gamble. And like Boogie said, with all the sanctions and investigation and all this, if he didn't know, if he was not aware of all that, then how good of a job was he doing as an athletic director to not know what was going on with his football program? So, I agree. I think it was time to kind of part ways, and I'm liking the direction that the program's going. It's funny. JP talked about it a minute ago. We've heard next to nothing about this defensive staff, but rumors and things. And I think a lot of it is people throwing stuff that is trying to stick. The same thing with the coaching search. But it's a point where the culture has to be changed. And I think starting at the ground floor and cleaning house is the way that it needed to be done. And I don't know how you can't have a little bit of a positive outlook when that's what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let me hit this super chat from Johnny Fielder for $5. Thanks, Johnny, for the super chat. It says Tennessee has got to have coaches that can recruit and especially develop players, and that's something that I'm not so sure about. Look, I think that Heupel is going to be able to develop players, especially on offense, especially quarterbacks. One of the downfalls that you hear about him is his recruiting ability. And I don't know, is he going to be able to recruit? We talk about the 2022 class, how important it is. Could that be his downfall? And especially when we're sitting here talking about options at defensive coordinator, and you're talking about one of the names you keep hearing is Casey Rogers, a guy that's not coached in college for almost 20 years. That defensive coordinator hire is so crucial. It's so important. If that hire is a failure, I don't think Josh Heupel is going to survive at Tennessee. I just don't think he is.
Some guys in the chat have mentioned it too. There's an article on Football Scoop, John Bryce, where they're talking about Al Washington, Ohio State's linebackers coach. But my thing with him, he's never been a coordinator. He evidently recruits well, real good coach and everything, but I don't know.
We thought Pruitt could recruit well too. I mean that was his thing. I mean,
yeah, I don't know how I feel about a guy coming in who hasn't been a coordinator. But I had heard Tulsa's defensive coordinator's name too, and also Mississippi State's people are high on Zach Arnett, I believe. I don't know how realistic that one is, but
yeah. I just think that probably with the type of offense that Heupel runs, I just don't think that you're going to get a big name defensive coordinator, or maybe even a coordinator that's even an up and coming type coordinator, because I do think that hopefully that this offense will put up some more points, but I fully expect this to be a completely different brand of football that Tennessee fans have been used to seeing. I think that with this hire, I think that White is definitely seeing that this game has changed. It is certainly an offensive game. The rules are so much in favor of the offense. I mean, these guys, they can't even tackle now without the fear of being thrown out for some kind of targeting call or something like that. So it's all about offense. I mean, that's what it's all about. Tennessee needs to find some good recruiters, and like the comment there said, to be able to develop them. But this is going to be one of those teams, in my opinion. If Heupel is successful, I think that you're going to see a lot of 48 to 40 ball games and a lot of, hopefully 52 to 36, 40 type scores. I mean, the days of probably us shutting out opponents and not, giving up 14 points or something like that, it's over. It's over. I mean, unless you're a bad offense like Tennessee was last year, then that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
So how hard is it for a guy that's not been a coordinator, or even a guy that is a coordinator? Why would you take a gamble? Why would you take a risk coming to Tennessee when, like you just said, Heupel's going to come out, he's going to go fast, they're going to try to score a lot of points. That defense is going to be put in some bad situations. They're going to be put in some bad situations. That's a hard sell when you're trying to get a defensive coordinator to come to Tennessee.
Maybe you look at when Dooley came and he brought Justin Wilcox, which was an under the radar hire. It was probably between him and Jancic. I mean, I would even go as far to say Wilcox may have been a little better than Jancic, because honestly, I don't think Wilcox had near the talent to work with that Jancic did. He had some, good players. Don't get me wrong, but both guys were really good. But maybe you get somebody like that. I think maybe you look at the type of offenses we're in, and there are a lot more high tempo offenses, and maybe you look at some of those schools for a coordinator, it's used to coaching in a similar pace that you're going to run, something along those lines, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no. That's true. That's true. Maybe we need to look at some coaches out of the Big 12 or something like that, because I mean that's what they've been doing for years, basically. That everybody said that the Big 12 is is a offensive league, and that they don't play defense and so forth like that. So
Oklahoma finally had a decent defense this year. That's the first time in a while.
yeah.
But I don't. Besides that, I don't know where Texas defensive coordinator left. I don't know if he's got a job yet, or I don't know if he'd be a guy or not. That's just the name out of the Big 12. But
yeah, that was the point I was making with Steele. I don't think he fits with the scheme that Heupel's wanting to run offensively. And I think if that's the direction they go, is Steele going to change his defensive philosophies and coach to match what the offense is going to do, being that they're looking to go fast and score every chance they get the ball, and I think it contradicts what the offense is wanting to do.
I kind of agreed with Mike Morrison here. I think you got to have guys that can coach and develop players. Recruiting will come. If you can't, we supposedly have had all-world recruiters the last 3 years, and although the classes haven't been bad, they've not blown any other classes out of the water. And Butch Jones, when he had those top 10 classes, I don't think it was really classified that he had a staff full of just ace recruiters. He had some real good recruiters, but yeah, if you get the coaching's going to be more important. The recruiting will take care of itself. Tennessee's still got a brand. It needs to be rebuilt, but it's you start winning and developing guys and getting guys to the pros, recruits will take notice of that.
That's what Corey's saying in the chat there, and that's what I see a lot of people on VolQuest talking about. It's like if you win, you have success. Tennessee, it's going to take care of itself. They're going to come. You're always going to have a top 15, 20 recruiting class, and then you start winning, and you're only going to get better from there. We got 225 people.
We just
watching.
need to get an exciting brand of football, and that's what I'm hoping that Heupel brings. Based on his track record, there should be lots of scoring, lots of big plays, stuff like that. And in my opinion, that's what it's going to take to get get the excitement back, get the fan base bought in, all of that type of stuff.
So 3 yards in a cloud of dust is over.
We're going to run an offense that fits in this millennium.
Exactly.
Finally.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's what Danny White and Heupel both are preaching. They keep the word. How many times have we said the word brand on this channel over the last month? Because they are building a brand that is going to excite fans. How many times did we come on here post-game shows and say, well, good Lord, even if they had won, that was the most boring game I've ever watched in my life. It was absolutely awful. That Arkansas game was absolutely terrible. Even the first half when they were up, it was
boring.
So boring.
It was boring.
It's
boring football.
And then we keep talking about Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, and it's like, at least they're fun to watch.
Yep.
And I think that is the step that Josh Heupel can take, to make this fun. We got 233 people watching live. Do us a favor, smash that thumbs up. We got somebody said in the chat earlier, Boogie's not gone on a thumbs up rant yet. This is for you, buddy. We need to get it up to like maybe 150. We're at 117 right now. Let's continue to get some more thumbs up. Let me go ahead and take the time to do this as well while I'm ranting and raving and not really talking about anything. This is just filler. This is what I do. But check out the Talkin VAWLS merch store. It's not just a bunch of random links now. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. The link is in the description below. All the merch is in one easy place. You can look at this. It's glorious. You can scroll through everything. And my OCD brain says, Boogie, why did you make the hoodie with the black outline microphone, but you made the T-shirt with the orange outline microphone? That's what bothers my brain. But at least everything is organized. You can check out the new Mount Rushmore shirt. Look, we're not insiders. We're not experts. We don't have any inside scoops, but we are the Mount Rushmore of Tennessee media. So check out the Talkin VAWLS Mount Rushmore shirt. Really good job. Shout out to my stepbrother, Kevin, who spent a good 4 to 5 days trying to dial that design in. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you'll check it out. Also, somebody had asked about coffee mugs. So went ahead and added one of those. You can pick one of those up. And there's no profit There's no profit on the coffee mug. I wish I could offer it cheaper, but that's it. We're making about 50 cents on that coffee mug. So if you want one, get one. All the old school merch is there. And my favorite design of all time, my daughter had this hoodie on the other day. And I said, man, that is the best piece of merchandise we have ever made. Pick up your Talkin VAWLS Hoops shirt. Again, one solid link, Talkin VAWLS. It's on Bonfire. The link's down below, so check that out.
Speaking of Vols hoops, how about the big win in Lexington last night over the Wildcats and the Rivalries?
Not
Always
everybody
great
was
to see
happy
that.
in the first half.
Always great to see that.
Not the first half of the second
First
half
half
either.
was 5-on-8. That was absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. And what's so crazy about it is the start of the second half. Then all of a sudden, the ref changed the way that they were calling the game, and Kentucky got some quick fouls. And you see that all the time happen in college basketball. These refs, I'm telling you, they are. And then there was that one play, and which I know Pons ended up. I'm pretty sure it was Pons. He ended up scoring down low, but before he got the shot up, the Kentucky player was like laying over his back, and they never called it. I mean, they never even called it.
Oh,
I mean, it's just
the worst was the play that they called out of bounds.
Oh yes, yeah. That tweet I sent you guys, yeah.
Right before that, though, did you see Pons get the forearm?
Yeah.
And pushed out of the way, and then Keon saved that ball. It didn't land out of bounds. He saved it. To James in the corner, and
they said that it was out of bounds. It's crazy.
When y'all talk about basketball and it's like why I don't watch it, it's officiating. I cannot get into it because it's so inconsistent. And I know football is too. It really is. They hold on every play, but the officiating in basketball is why I can't get into it.
It's well, and the problem with it is the officials will just completely change the whole complexion of a game. I mean, last night in the first half, I mean, with the
listen, Fulmer had
foul trouble
fouls in 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then Kamwa comes in and he gets 2 fouls in 30 seconds. I mean, picks them up.
Yeah, you had Euros had to come in. You know something's going on if that guy's in.
Yeah.
How about the crane hanging over Rupp Arena?
Loved it.
Well, what's that now?
So they're doing renovations to Rupp Arena, and the crew who is doing it is from Knoxville. So the crane that's hanging over it, they put a UT flag up on the crane.
That's what they were talking about. Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I had ran to the restroom and I saw him going to a commercial and said something about Knoxville making Rupp better or something like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
When I got back, yeah.
I tell you what, Barnes has Cal's number.
Yeah, definitely does. What, 6 out of 9 times?
Yeah,
think so.
It's I don't know if it's just the way he coaches him but he gets those guys ready to play Kentucky.
Yeah,
and I think that they showed last night. I think Tennessee has now 73. I think that it was 72 wins against
most
Kentucky.
All-time against
now
Kentucky.
73. So that's what I'd said. I guess Tuesday night when we went live, JP. It was going to be tough going into Lexington. It always is. It's always a good basketball game, but we are one of the teams that typically we play Kentucky hard.
Just think of some of the comebacks they've had against them over the years. I mean, like last year, they came back big.
17 last year.
Yeah, and that wasn't even that good of a Tennessee team last year. I think Lamonte Turner had already went out for the year. There's been a lot of big comebacks over the few years since Barnes has been there, double-digit comebacks. And remember, what was it, 2 years ago in the SEC tournament when they made that big comeback at the end when it seemed like it was over? And they come back and won.
Yeah.
So that was big. That's
I mean, I just hope going forward. I really hope that was Keon's coming out party. I mean, I know Springer had kind of shown flashes on the offensive end earlier this season and stuff like that. But I hope Barnes let lets those horses run, because that is the only way that basketball team is going to make a run. That you have got to have
that is what got them going.
Guard play like that. Yeah, I mean, well, if we finished the game on a 26-6 run, and Springer and Keon accounted for 22 of those points. So
yeah, they were on. That was huge, and hopefully that turns them loose.
I hope so too. I mean, I was so excited to see them run quick. I mean, really, really press it, but down once they got the rebound, they were pushing it quick. That's what this basketball team is going to have to do. And you got Keon and Springer. Let them go one-on-one. Yeah, let them go one-on-one. That's what it's all about.
Probably not going to have them next year.
No. Let them run.
That's right.
Yeah, I know, Corey. That's what I'm saying. I know that they don't shoot a high enough percentage to make a deep run, but if we can get Keon and Springer consistently taking it to the basket
and finishing at the rim,
it's been a big problem with them. But man, I would love for those two kids to come back next year. But
especially with Kenny Chandler coming in, that's going to be your probably best point guard we've had down there in a long, long time.
Oh yeah, for sure. So anyway.
IC86 says, I'm not watching the Super Bowl pregame. I heard that as soon as we went live, you could also be watching Miley Cyrus. Tailgating with Miley Cyrus. If that's what you guys want to watch.
No, thanks.
You guys can go watch it.
No, thanks.
I don't know. Wait. JP, do you want to watch Tailgating with Miley Cyrus?
No, thanks.
Can we do?
Oh, my God. We should leave it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe we can critique that.
Yeah.
Be like a press conference.
Probably get some more views. I'm just saying. Where are we at here? There's a lot of things that came in the chat. One of the things I saw, and it's been a while, Adam Bauer says, Country Girl. One of the things I saw that I want to go back to, it was, who do you think is going to make more of an impact? Look, Yule's back because we mentioned Miley Cyrus.
Surely he's not a Miley Cyrus fan.
Probably loves her. If I know Yule, he loves Miley. Somebody asked what freshman will make the biggest impact, but I kind of want to spin that because one of the freshmen they mentioned was Caden Salter. I want to talk about the quarterback room. I want to talk about this Josh Heupel offense. They're going to go quick. I was on the treadmill at the gym yesterday watching somebody analyze Central Florida game film. It's like, I don't know who the guy was, but he's just breaking down all the different looks they show and what they do on offense. That's how bad it is, man. But what quarterback, Dauber, what quarterback do you think has the opportunity to shine? I think you got to have a big arm in this system. And as much as everybody loves Harrison Bailey, I don't know if he's going to be the guy to shine in this Josh Heupel offense.
Man, it's tough because you look at what Heupel did with Drew Lock at Missouri. He was kind of a drop back passer, wasn't really a scrambler, but you got Salter coming in, and then you got the kid that transferred in from Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
and I think Salter. Had we not gotten Hooker from Virginia Tech, I think Salter probably has had a leg up just based on the style. But I'm kind of leaning towards giving Hooker a bit of the upside just because you're talking a grad transfer. He's got the experience. Typically, when you see a true freshman come in, it takes them a bit to adjust to the speed of college football.
I like Hendon Hooker's arm in this offense because something that Heupel like to do at Central Florida is throw the ball down the field, and that's something that Harrison Bailey is lacking. And I know everybody loves Harrison Bailey. I just don't know that he's the guy. What a great name this is. Fart on Fart says Maurer, and I see a lot of people saying that Brian Maurer this offense could light a spark under him. And it's a guy, his on-field play that I've always wanted to get behind the guy. He has a fire and an energy to him.
But he's never
reckless.
finished a game. He has never finished a game.
Very reckless. I agree. There's something about the kid that I like. Look, I know he's on social media telling the fans to shut up, and he's throwing up pictures with a bunch of dollar bills.
Listen, I was at the Mississippi State game that he started and took a somersault and scorpioned on his head. I mean, he's electric on the field. He does have that kind of spark, but Indy hit it right there. He's reckless. Not in the fact that he doesn't necessarily take care of the football, but
his body.
Yeah, I mean, he just an abandon that he played with, and you've got to be smarter than that to play football at the quarterback position in the SEC.
He's pretty careless with the ball too. I mean, he throws into a lot of coverage.
Well, I think he's
a lot too.
Career-wise, like he's thrown more picks than touchdowns. But
he could have easily had more. I know when he came in. I know when he came in against Indiana in the bowl last year. Remember, Garantano was having one of his bad games, and Maurer come in and it was even worse.
Let me say this: the chat's going nuts right now because I gave Maurer a little bit of praise. Let me say this: my depth chart is Hendon Hooker number 1, Caden Salter number 2, and then probably Harrison Bailey number 3. Like that's probably where I'm at. I'm just saying the energy that Maurer brings is something that I wish we would see more of.
I don't think I would count Harrison Bailey out yet because the quarterbacks don't – what the quarterback – I don't know. I haven't – something where really the most they've rushed for is like 300-some yards in a season. So I don't think he's necessarily had like dual-threat quarterbacks. Right. He's had guys who could create on their own. I think Bailey can do that. I think I'm with Dauber. I think Hooker will be the guy to look out for.
So right I'm with, man.
Well, I mean, I think when it boils down to it, they hit – I think they almost hit a home run on what they brought in quarterback-wise this year with Hooker and Salter. They've had a very good year bringing those two
Here's the thing, though. Here is the thing. We've got to have a spring practice. We've got to have a fall camp because that's where the questions are going to be answered, and who you're going to see who's going to fit the system the best. You let them play it out on the field because if we have to go through what we did this spring, and you know what did we get 3 days of spring practice and then done, man. I don't know. David Speaks threw that out. I said that. You think about what Heupel did at Missouri with Drew Lock, and that I can see Harrison Bailey having success like that. And Locke rode that all the way to getting to play on Sundays. And I know is he still even in the league? Is he a backup somewhere now?
I think so.
Drew Locke.
I think he was starting in Denver.
Yeah, I think he's still in Denver.
Okay,
I didn't know he was starting. I think he's in Denver.
But
he got hurt, I thought
he put up big time numbers, and you know, I think it's something. You see that as Heupel's direction. He is one that is going to take a guy and develop. You look at Gabriel at Central Florida. He was kind of unheralded coming in, and you know he put up some big numbers. So it's kind of a wait and see, I believe, right now.
What kind of accuracy does Hooker have? I haven't
he was
watched
in the
any.
60s. I think so. I think he was in the 60s.
Because
with his percentage.
For some reason, I thought he was more of a running top quarterback. But
I can put it up on my screen here. I got it pulled up here. Give me a second.
I think he's more of he is a true dual threat.
I'm still on record that Caden Salter's starting.
Well, you asked for Hooker stats. You can't change gears on me here.
I know, but I'm just saying.
There you go, right there. 20, 65% completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions.
Ugh.
But 2019, 61% completion, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Okay.
And these Tech teams have not been very good either.
Rushing is what excites me. I mean, of course, you're going to really look at 156 yards against Liberty, but I think he opens up the offense for sure.
Was that against Liberty this year?
I believe so.
Yes.
Well, Liberty was good this year.
Yeah, but
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but
it's Liberty. Who did they play? And yeah, I know they did some good things.
The
but
entire ACC was trash.
They beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I just like that Salter kid. I just like it.
Don't get me wrong. The highlights from Hooker when he signed, I mean, it was kind of exciting. Better quarterback play than we've seen the last 3 years.
I mean,
the Salter's highlights from high school, man, the kid lit it up. But you've also got to think that's high school. I know he was playing in Texas, big time football in Texas, but it's hard to gauge that and transfer it to the college level. His team, he had a couple wideouts. They signed somewhere. It's one of those things. You run by your guy and I'm throwing it up to you. It's hard to, but it's exciting. And like I said, I think either way you go, it has the potential to be a whole lot better than what we've seen.
Fart on Fart says that Salter needs a year, and maybe he does. But I mean, my gosh, look at these freshman quarterbacks that are coming into the college football now. I mean, you've got these high schools, and especially Salter playing in one of the highest classifications down there in Texas. I mean, one of the best high school states when it comes to football. So I think Salter, if he has got that dog mentality like he has shown in some of his interviews and some of his play and stuff, Salter is down there right now to compete with the expectation that when that opening game starts, that he's going to be out there. And I'm excited about the quarterback room because I think that there's a talent down there. And I think the biggest thing about it is I think that they have folks down there now that can push each other and actually have a competition to where, for whatever reason, the last 4+ years down there, nobody wasn't able to even compete with Garantano, which is just mind-boggling, but just totally just unbelievable, really. But it's just I think that with the end of the season experience that Bailey got, and the fact that you're bringing in a guy that's got multiple starts at the highest level with Hooker, and then you got a kid like Salter that's coming in, I'm extremely excited about it. I know that there's a lot of people saying that Maurer is rejuvenated because he was recruited coming out of high school to Central Florida and has a relationship with Heupel and stuff. And maybe that does turn that kid around, but I'm not going to bet on that for sure.
Hey, whatever it takes, though. I don't care. I don't care which one of those guys is under center.
I don't care.
I just want him to have success.
Yeah, I don't care if we have to put Dauber out there at quarterback. Just win,
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Corey Braswell talking about the offense. Did say where Heupel has said this offense can be 100% installed during a full spring camp. So,
yeah, and that's the thing. We've got to have that spring camp. I think you'll see some pretty good. And there's some talent on offense. I don't know how the line – I mean, obviously you got to have a line, but, that TVA down there, a.k.a. Boone Dam, turned out to be – I mean, what you got? You're going to have both the Mays guys – on there. You're going to have Carvin, Darnell Wright's still there.
Maybe. I don't think that's 100%, is it?
I saw where Johnson announced that he's leaving. Jameer
Yeah, he's
Johnson.
going to A&M.
Which
I mean, he didn't do anything in the time he was there anyway. So.
I know, but what's surprising about him is that he was always, one of those that everybody was claiming. He was always with this cryptic stuff about how he felt like that he should be starting and playing and all this stuff. Well, now, right now is the best time ever because Wanye's leaving, and who knows about Wright, and Tennessee needs offensive tackles. So you would think the opportunity there is for him right now to take and run with it, and then he decides to transfer and go somewhere else for his last year. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand some of these decisions. Henry T.
Adam Bowers is asking about Henry T.
I saw where he's
Crouch
still
both.
wearing Tennessee gear. He posted something on some social media platform. I saw that, and he still had on a Tennessee shirt with his Lloyd Christmas haircut. So,
hey, the thing about him and
enrolled, I think.
him and Crouch both are enrolled, and I think it's Crouch that said he's definitely going to give this coaching staff a chance through spring camp. Henry T. is a little less certain.
Maybe if you get the Washington guy from Ohio State, I seen somebody mention earlier with his relationships, his recruiting, maybe he's able to convince him to stick around.
We need both those guys back. There's no depth at linebacker. They absolutely got to have both those guys back.
Yeah, I seen that makes mention there. You was talking about freshmen earlier when we talked about the offense. I saw that one of that people saying could come in and make an impact. Aaron Willis, linebacker, he signed out of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
How possibly he could come in, but I think it shifts to Bryson Eason and French.
Yeah,
if those two guys do happen to leave, Toto and Crouch, I think that Eason and French have a big opportunity ahead of them, and we don't have the legend of J.J. Peterson down there anymore.
What the heck, man?
So,
I also wonder if what was his name that got signed there a year ago? Running back that
Whitehead.
Yeah, Whitehead. I just wonder what I guess that I'll be curious to see what this staff feels like that his best possible position is, and does he maybe end up at linebacker, especially if we end up losing Henry T and Crouch for sure.
Well, I think carries are going to be hard to come by because I really think this Evans guy, the JUCO guy, is going to. I think he could be a really good back. He could be a really good signing for him. So I'll be interested to see. And then, there's some other backs. And I'm curious to see what happens with Beckwith. Something tells me he may not stay. He may stick at running back. I mean, he looked pretty good the game we saw him run. But, I don't know what kind of backs Central Florida, if they like the bigger backs, if they like the more shifty guys or what. But
my ridiculous analyzing a film at the gym – they were talking about how they had 3 running backs at Central Florida. All 3 brought a different dynamic, but all 3 were utilized. So all 3 guys got carries, different styles, but they could all break big plays too.
Yeah.
So
they probably gonna need several backs, especially if they're running offense at the breakneck speed that they plan on. My goodness, I'd be worn out just getting up to the line of scrimmage as fast as they go.
You'd have to call a timeout after running the play in.
Yeah. I know one thing. Darnell Wright, he's gonna have to get in shape a little bit. That old boy got a little old biscuit and gravy belly like old Vols JP got.
That entire offensive line better be running right now.
Yeah,
and I agree with this. Jabari Small, I think, has an opportunity to break out this year, have a huge year. Huge year. Yeah, I'm excited about the offense, man. I really am. I'm excited about Heupel's offense. I'm excited about the players that are on this football team. We're going to see those freshmen from last year that we begged to see. How big of a year is Velus Jones going to have? I bet that kid's excited as all get out that he's coming back to Tennessee this year.
Him, Jalen Hyatt, Callaway, Holiday. Yeah, I'm curious to see some of this speed that was never utilized last year. I think Velus Jones and Jalen Hyatt has got to be licking their chops.
Yeah, I mean, just hopeful that there's some kind of route trees that are ran that we can get these kids in space and we see it over and over again when we watch these other teams, drag patterns, all of that stuff, crisscrossing, all that stuff to get the mismatches, either on the star backer or these linebackers, that for whatever reason that Chaney wouldn't do. I mean, it was it was just so basic, It's just and find it funny now that all through the season that, we were talking about, and I was fully convinced that Pruitt was meddling with the offense. Well, now it comes out that I think Brent Hubbs and them were saying that they're saying that he did get involved and that he would take over, like tell Chaney what to run certain times and so forth like that. I think that's so odd now that all of a sudden that he got fired, and now they're coming out and saying that when that wasn't the case really. But I mean, anybody that watched that could tell that dude was meddling and all that stuff.
That's why I couldn't get behind the hate for Chaney, man, because it never felt like he really got a chance when he came back to work for Pruitt. I don't think he did.
I'll tell you when I'm going to be happy with it is when there's 2 minutes to go in the half, and we actually attempt to go score some points.
Score points, I know, right?
Instead of run a draw and hope it gets 10 yards and then try to throw an out, it's going to be nice to actually try to go down and score at the end of a half opposed to running it out with 2 to 3 minutes left.
Oh, I know.
Because that used to absolutely infuriate me.
Yeah, I agree, Indy Kid. I mean, there was several games there towards the end of the half, or well, even at the end of the game. I mean, I think it was that was it the Florida game that we just kind of ho hummed around, just letting the clock just run out with no urgency or anything.
And how about not kicking a field goal because you weren't close enough?
Yeah,
when your kicker had already kicked one from further away.
Yeah.
I refuse to let you guys bring me down with this Jeremy Pruitt talk. I refuse.
Who was
Hopkins
the kid
across.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Hopkins across fan with $5. Thank you so much. Hop says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen." He always calls us gentlemen. Makes me feel sophisticated in my hoodie and sweatpants and toboggan. Happy big game Sunday. Big congratulations on Peyton Manning getting the Hall of Fame nod. No player wins without the support of the fans. How about the stories about Peyton getting the information that he was getting inducted, and he starts calling ticket guys and highlight guys and equipment managers? And did you guys see that article of the people that Peyton Manning contacted after he gets inducted, the notification that he's getting inducted? Just a class act, man. Class act through and through. Thanks, Hop, for the super chat.
That's why that, even though that you have to give Brady credit, obviously, and I know that we talked about it earlier, and certainly going to 10 Super Bowls and the opportunity to win his 7th tonight. I mean, I don't think that any of us in our lifetime will ever see a quarterback with those accolades. But still, Peyton Manning is still my number one quarterback. He still is. Sorry.
I got his autographed football over my shoulder, man. I love the guy. But I also got Phil hanging on my wall. Look, we got to wrap this show up. We're over an hour. Just a fun. We got 263 people watching. If you've not done so yet, hit the thumbs up on the way out the door. Is in what? Let's make some predictions for the Super Bowl, and then we'll wrap this thing up. I don't watch football, so I don't watch the NFL. I should probably clarify.
Well, honestly, this year, Boogie, if you watched Tennessee, it really wasn't football either. So
that's true. I've not watched football in a good year. Mike Morrison, I'm excited for spring football too. And I don't know if we're going to do more live streams before then. I thought we'd get on today and nobody would be here, and there's 200 and some people hanging out. So I don't know what we're going to do. We are going to cover spring football. People keep asking me, what are we going to do about the orange and white game? I don't know. We'll have to see what the schedule looks like. If the orange and white game is going to be on TV, we may do a watch party and just watch it with you guys. That was the plan for last year until everything got canceled. So just stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I saw somebody saying they didn't get a notification on YouTube. They had no idea we were going live. Follow us on Instagram, Talkin VAWLS. Follow us on Facebook. Just search Talkin VAWLS Podcast. It's going to pop up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you get social with your media. So give us a follow, and you'll know when we're going live. If YouTube fails and you don't get that notification, so do that. Vaping with JJ says, smash the thumbs up. Come on, get some more going. Predictions. Dauber, who do you got for the Super Bowl today?
I'd like to see KC win. I think they're exciting to watch. Mahomes is that new style, the style that I hope Tennessee kind of gets going. Good quarterback play. Hill, the wide receiver, is just blazing. If he gets behind the coverage, man, I don't think anybody's going to stop him. I'm going with the Chiefs, and that's more so I guess I'm going against Brady. So I don't know. It really doesn't bother me.
I'm just going to say I think Brady wins. That's it. I have no clue. I got no idea. I just say don't bet against Tom Brady, just like Fallout Zone just said. So, JP, who you got?
Chiefs 34-31. Think it should be a pretty good football game. And Tom Brady gets his sixth, Tom Brady gets stuck on his sixth Super Bowl, and I'll go on record and say this will be the last Super Bowl that Tom Brady goes to because the Bucs can't keep all of that talent around. So there it is.
If you say so. What do you got, Indy Kid?
Tom Brady, 34-31. I'll go the opposite way. So Tom Brady. I just wouldn't bet against it. And plus,
I wouldn't bet against it. No.
Yeah.
No. I'm
plus,
not
being a
money
Raiders
on it.
fan, I can't go with the Chiefs. I just can't. It'd be like you guys going with the Cowboys.
Ugh.
So no.
No,
Yeah, same thing. No, it wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs won, but I'm going with Brady. He solidifies his legacy tonight.
I can see it happening, but I think Chiefs and Patty Mahomes pulls it out. Really do.
All right, fellas, that's going to wrap it up for this random bonus Super Bowl Sunday edition of Talkin VAWLS. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed. I don't know. We'll probably do some lives. We've talked about just doing live streams where we get on and just BS and hang out and just chat with you guys about whatever. Like the start of the show, we're talking about air fryers and JP's electric smoker. We'll talk about whatever you guys.
People dissing my electric smoker.
No, man. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. You are the loyal Talkin VAWLS fans. We appreciate the support. There's times we show up and there's 800 people here. There's times we show up and our dedicated listeners are here. And you guys make this thing tick. Somebody said you guys are almost to 5,000. Like you were at 4,000 like just a couple of weeks ago. The growth this year has been insane. I look forward to the future. I look forward to next year. We appreciate all the support. If you guys want merch, the links are below. Follow us on all social media. That's it. It's going to wrap it up for Dauber, for VAWLS JP, for the Indy Kid. I'm Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.